Okay, so 27 overs were bowled on the first session today, and Shubman Gill has hit a brilliant 50. Rohit Sharma unfortunately fell to a bad shot.
A bad shot. You can't say anything about the ball.
Nothing ball, nothing shot. So 129 for 1 India are, and they are trailing by 351 runs. But India will be happy because of developments that have happened in New Zealand. Because spectacularly New Zealand have turned the match around. They have taken an 18-run lead thanks to Daryl Mitchell's 100. Then Matt Henry 70, then Neil Wagner 27, and towards the end Blair Tickner taking 3 wickets. Sri Lanka are 83 for 3, just 65 runs ahead with 2 days to go.
Still game on there.
It is a very topsy-turvy game.
I don't think it's a situation. I was watching Angelo Matthews batting, grinding it out. At the time, I think they were 2 down.
2 down, yes.
At that time. So I'm saying yes, that 18-run lead, but New Zealand bat last. So if you go beyond 150, 200 close to thing, which seems possible.
Yep.
They've still got 7 wickets in hand.
7 wickets in hand.
So quite possible. And once you breach the 200 mark, then no matter what team you are, what conditions you're playing, too much pressure. So I think from a overwhelming Sri Lanka favorite situation, you've now reached a
50-50
where it's a 50-50. Can go anywhere. So I think India would do best not to look at that.
Yep.
You need to win this game, nothing else. No draw, no loss, of course, doesn't help you. But in the situation where you are, and the way the pitch is played today also, this is day 3.
Yes.
I know that we'll talk about that one delivery from Murphy. Just before lunch was taken, that one ball from Murphy that really gripped and turned. I think that will be spoken of, and of course that will come into play. But I think even today you're not going to see too many. There'll be like 1 or 2 maybe more deliveries that will come like that. So essentially from day 4 onwards, but I wonder whether day 4 would be too late, because till that time you would have almost got a draw, in the sense both teams would have batted for a very long time. So the permutation combination, or the amount that we were saying, the chances of a draw being maximum, and we said this at the day's play getting over yesterday, I think today it's only increased that ratio. But my question to have you sent the Zoom link, Anurag? My question to Siddharth is, he said that the Indians were bowling badly yesterday.
Yes.
But today Australian bowled badly.
I would say a mixture of both, because both Gill and Rohit attacked. Pujara used the speed very well. Mitchell Starc was way off colour. Hardly he was bowling in the right lengths. It was either too full or too much on the pads, too short. As you saw on this way, you can't bowl short.
No, I think that was a plan that they came with. See, I don't think this is the kind of pitch where the ball is going to seam around or swing around, right? So Mitchell Starc knew that, and he's essentially that sort of a bowler. I think the only option that he had at that time was like, okay, I'll go short, and try and because both of them like to pull the ball, both Shubman and Rohit. So maybe he thought that, okay, that's one thing. I'll keep bowling short, they'll keep pulling. Of course, I'll get hit for a few 4s, but that's my only way of picking a wicket, because you're going to edge one, or there was this one shot, if you remember, like he tried to play a pull Shubman, and it went very close to the keeper. So I think he was just playing percentage cricket, that I'll keep bowling short. The only thing that surprised me at the time was that I thought, because the batsmen were also not resisting playing the shot, they were taking that risk, and Mitchell Starc was bowling short, I think it took him away very soon. He should have given him an over or 2. I know he was leaking runs, but runs is not a problem now. 480 runs, you need a wicket early. So I was a bit surprised that Steve Smith, who usually is an aggressive captain, decided to take Mitchell Starc off that early. And why I think he should bowl Mitchell Starc even more. One, that he was bowling short and both were happy to play the pull. See what happens, you'll get 1-4, 2-4, 3-4. Maybe the 5th shot there's a top edge, or you make a mistake, or they placed a field like that, you get caught. That chance is at least there now, because Puch is not doing. That's one option. The other thing which I think he's not really paying attention to, the fact is the kind of footmarks that he's making. If you see that ball right at the end that Murphy bowled, could have been possibly because of the footmark that Mitchell Starc has created for the right-hander. And I can see footmark more on one end than the other. So I guess it was the end where Mitchell Starc is bowling. So I would want to see more and more of Mitchell Starc. I see Rahul has joined us live from the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. I was watching your report in the morning. There was so many people turning in to watch the game. Of course, a much better crowd than we saw for the first 2 days. And I'm saying first 2 days because that first day crowd also was there only for the brief while. So I'm taking into account the full day. So much better crowd from the first 2 days. But have they got their money's worth? They're enjoying Indian batting?
I'm sure they are, especially with the way the Indians started in the morning. I think the approach was correct. The way the Indians batted, especially Shubman Gill, even Rohit Sharma for that matter. Unfortunately, I think he will have to regret. He could have done anything with that delivery that was bowled from Kunaman. But anyways, I think because of the nature of the wicket, this was something similar to what Rohit did in Nagpur, if you remember. When he came out to bat for the last few overs on day one, you would remember, he attacked the bowlers. I think because the ball was, nice and hard, you could attack the ball because now the wicket is slow. The moment you play an attacking shot, there is a possibility because of the nature of the wicket that you might be a fraction of a second quicker to the ball. So that's one thing. Maybe thereafter will have to slow down or these things will have to slow down. So I think that's how the match is going to progress. But as you said, 480 runs, still decent enough lead, and so chances of a draw are still more compared to one of the two teams winning this contest. But as far as crowd is concerned, I think I spoke to a few people in the morning, and they said primarily because the Indian team is batting, and secondly, it's a weekend here.
Yeah. Achha, tell me, yesterday when we all sat down to talk about or at least make predictions of how many hundreds are coming, but see our confidence, we hadn't said if 100 is coming. Our question yesterday was how many hundreds are coming, and you were the one who picked the least amount. You only picked one for Cheteshwar Pujara. You have a chance to make amends. You want to change that prediction now?
Well, I would want more hundreds, but I don't know. It was just a gut feeling, or maybe my poor reading of the game. That because I don't know somehow. And by the way, you mentioned about Nikhil. You mentioned about the footmarks. Now you realize because Mitchell Starc is bowling, although he's bowling both round the wicket and over the wicket.
Yes.
And you see, you start with the Australian spinners, the off spinners. They started from around the wicket, but quickly they moved to over the wicket. Why? Because from the other end, Mitchell Starc is creating those footmarks.
No, but the good thing with our thing, it's not just your reading of the game. Our reading of the game is also not top notch. We keep making mistakes, but the good thing with us is there is always a break in the session, so we can always change our prediction. That's why I told you, change the prediction if you want. We can use that clip only, the second prediction, the third one.
Well, but I just hope Shubman Gill gets 100. Will be an important 100 here.
Yeah.
Especially with the way he's playing. I think he's got a mandate also from the team that you don't need to change your game. This is the best way that you play. And you would remember in that World Test Championship final, Siddharth would remember, so would Shane, that he was trying to attack, even though the conditions were not suitable with the way he was playing. And suddenly what happened, Cheteshwar Pujara came there and he slowed things down. He was very reluctant, Cheteshwar Pujara, to just go through his shots. And suddenly we realized that Shubman Gill, I think he charged.
Have we lost his connection?
Yeah, we have lost.
I think we may have lost his connection, but we'll see if we get him back. If not, he'll try and get him back there. But just to answer a couple of questions in the meanwhile, some of them were coming. Arpan Datta is saying, what about that Murphy ball that went through Gill over the stumps? Not a good omen for India. Arpan, I think we spoke about it, but I don't know. I still feel that if they get Mitchell Starc to bowl a few more overs and create that rough more, and I think that should be part of the plan. So use Mitchell Starc not just as someone who is going to get you wickets, but it's going to be someone who will help you get wickets from the other end because of the marks that they create. So if that's the approach that they have, then I think that would be better. Have we got him back? Okay. Rahul, can you hear us? I think the bandwidth was a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Now I want to know just
surprising, Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, please.
No, why surprising?
No, because for the, I think I'll have to say this and I'll have to admit this is the best place where the network has not been a problem for the past so many days. And, I've been doing lives for so many platforms. And this was the first time in the last 3-4 days that there's been a network problem. But I've just, moved to some other place, and I realized that network is back. And it's you mentioned about the crowd, but when I went in, I saw because this is such a huge crowd. And yesterday at 8:30, you couldn't find too many people outside the ground. But today at around 8:30, there were so many people, and the numbers just grew every minute. And by the time the match started at around 9:30, there were so many people just walking into the stadium. But when I went in and I saw, and I couldn't see a lot of people, by the way. To be very honest, it could be somewhere around 5,000 to 7,000. Maybe Saturday, maybe people with time they will come in.
I saw Rahul. I saw even on the broadcast they were showing when just the game had started. Also, there were loads of people lining up outside the ticket centers to collect tickets to maybe get a chance to go in. But I wonder maybe they didn't enter. That's why maybe you saw less, because maybe tickets were not available. So people have got the tickets but have not come. The ones who want to come, maybe they reached the ticket counters and couldn't buy a ticket. Is that a possibility? Because I saw so many people outside the stadium trying to get in.
Yeah, because even I was surprised, but I'm pretty sure that the crowd will grow, and as the day progresses, and also you have a certain Virat Kohli. I think a lot of people are waiting for him to come, but if they haven't, if they are waiting for Virat to come, I think they will miss out on something what Shubman Gill is doing. Maybe, something special. This is what we've seen Rishabh Pant do a lot, the kind of innings that he's played. And even Shubman Gill, I know, maybe, the team management's persistence with the KL, this is what from both the ends. You have Rohit Sharma, he's a big name, he's got a stature in world cricket. Teams tend to find it, even before the match begins, they discuss a lot about a player. Because of his stature, because of his experience. Now the teams also.
I think we have lost him.
I think we've lost him. It's okay. Maybe he can join the other place, Anurag. Try, because we're having a bit of a connection issue from him. But I'll just continue from the one thing is about the crowd. We are talking about that one delivery, whether the Indian batsmen are going to be worried or not, sitting in the dressing room. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Are you going to see more deliveries on day 3? I'm only talking about day 3.
Maybe you will see 1 or 2 more, but looking at, apart from that one delivery, the other 26.5 overs, we didn't see that much of purchase. It was still a very, very good deck. Because why that one delivery came? Because it hit that rough spot exactly. Now that accuracy factor, how often can they hit that rough spot, that remains to be seen. But if you hit that, you will get a bit of turn, you will be fooled by the dip. But if you do not.
Okay. Rahul, are you here? Can you hear us? Because we had lost your connection.
Yes.
No, before I will let you go. Final question.
Which delivery are you guys talking about?
Murphy's.
The one that he bowled to Shubman Gill.
Yes.
Yes,
that one.
yes.
Outside the leg stump.
No, outside off.
You may have missed it because you may have been coming out, and so probably you may have missed it. It happened just, I think, a couple of overs before lunch was taken.
Yeah.
So there was one delivery. I think if there was one delivery in the session that actually deserved a wicket more than the one that actually got the wicket of Kuhneman, it was that delivery by Todd Murphy. Perfect, off spinner's delivery. He got the, batsman, which is Shubman Gill, to commit to the front foot because it's a nice flighty delivery, but he comes to the front foot and then it grips and turns and goes between the gap between bat and pad, and luckily for him that bounce saved him because it went over the stumps. Had the bounce been slightly less, he was clean bowled. Perfect off spinner's delivery, but the thing was that you saw a bit of puff of dust come, and it gripped and it turned. So wondering whether now it will start doing that.
So India will go, or the Indian team went into the lunch taking that delivery into
Yes.
their mind.
Yes.
That might bother them.
Yeah, that might, but I don't know, and this is what we are talking. Do you see more of such deliveries happening today, or do you think this was just a one-off because we didn't see any in the first session? Maybe day 4, 5, yes, but not so many today.
I think last session you will see, because there was one more delivery that I saw. This was that bowled from around the wicket for a left-arm spinner. It pitched out just outside the leg stump or leg stump, and it did turn. It did turn, and Shubman Gill, although he didn't find any great deal of discomfort to play that.
Acha, chalo, it's okay. Just let him know, Anurag, to just disconnect and he can join. There we'll continue. Sorry, we were continuing. Siddharth said that he feels that if you hit the spot, then it's going to.
Yeah, I think they're going to be bowling Stark, even though he hasn't been great so far in this first session. They're going to bowl him, try and generate a little bit more rough, because so far the pitch hasn't really disintegrated all that much. But when it is that one spot, that small spot, that sweet spot which Murphy could hit, it gripped big time. Gill had no idea about that, so I think they're going to try and play it rough, and then it's really down to the bowlers getting it right in terms of their line and length.
Yeah,
then maybe they can make something happen.
Yeah, let's take a few questions. Harsh is asking, I'll answer that. He's saying, I did not go to Ahmedabad. You are right, Harsh. I was all ready. Flight tickets were booked. Hotel stay was booked. In fact, while I was coming here, I got a call from the hotel also. So you're not coming. It's all because of Vikrant. Last moment he had some other commitments here. He says, it's okay, forget it. It will be a draw anyway. So what's the point of going? So because of him, I didn't go. Otherwise, my bags were packed, hotel booked, tickets done. So otherwise, I would have been joining them maybe from there.
Yep.
And 9:30 or 9:40 flight. So 10, 15, 10:30 would have landed. So 11:30, of course. Or 11 would have landed.
11, yeah.
11:30 could have been live from outside the Narendra Modi Stadium.
Absolutely.
Or if not right outside, at least from the city.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
In Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
From
It's
Ahmedabad.
quite a distance from the airport to the Narendra Modi
I mean, to be
Stadium.
fair, this stadium is a little bit on the outskirts.
Outskirts, it's on the Gandhinagar highway.
Right.
It's right there. I had
Yeah.
covered the Vijay Hazare trophy there in 2014-15. So at that time it was the old derelict Motera stadium where even a small, there was a rainstorm for 10 minutes, the press box would be flooded. Yeah.
Acha, a couple of questions. One was saying you're feeling very bad for KL Rahul. Any thought, Shane?
I mean, yeah, if you're an out of form batsman.
There, Ankar Biswas is saying. Feel for KL.
I agree with him. If you're an out of form batsman, you get a deck like this. Best place to get your confidence back. Unfortunately, his long rope had to expire just before they came across this particular pitch.
Yeah, a lot of people have pointed out. Roy SP also says that. He says, do feel bad for KL. The surfaces he got play versus this is a huge difference. Nothing against Gill, but even he has struggled on tough surfaces like KL. But can I point one thing out? That in Bangladesh, also you got, I'm not saying the conditions were like this, but they weren't as ranked turners that you got in the first 3 test matches. There also Shubman got 100.
100, yeah.
He got 100. So credit where credit is due, and KL did not get runs in both those test matches. So let's be fair there. Yes, I know the rub of the green here has gone Shubman Gill's way, because KL got those 2 matches and he also was to get 2 matches.
Yep.
So his second match he's got a better surface. But then I think that's what goes. So you also got to say that KL had more chances before that.
Yeah.
Had he got, let's say, 100 in Bangladesh, probably Shubman wouldn't have got the 3rd test match or then the 4th. So in that sense, you had the opportunity. It's like it's a race, right? You're leading. And if you don't make a mistake, you will continue to lead. It's only when you make a mistake, you will allow the other guy to go forward. And then, of course, if conditions improve, he enjoys that lead. So I think that's part of, I think, not just cricket, it's part of life, right?
It's part of life, yep.
So, but I do feel for him. Right now, sitting in the dressing room, he must be thinking, oh, I wish I got one of these surfaces in the first 2 test matches. I would have got 100 at least. That would have, quietened the whole debate and...
Yep.
Yeah. What is Shubham?
Shubham Garg is saying, seems Oz does not want Stark to create a rough. That is why he was bowling round the wicket. Oz is afraid that they have third. Shastri pointed this.
So they have to bat third.
Bat third.
No, but I think, see again, would you be thinking like that? I think that'd be very negative. I'll tell you why. Because if I'm Australia, I posted 480. That's a massive score.
Yep.
If I can get them for 350, that also gets me a 130, which is massive. So I bat third, I get 100 runs, assuming 100. That's 230 runs. That's massive.
Also, worth pointing out that even if this pitch starts to turn, Indore was worse, and you managed to bat fine there. So you can actually back yourself to get at least even 200 runs.
I'm saying worst case scenario. Let's say you're looking at the worst case scenario that you can't. But right now you've already got runs on the board. You're not going to be thinking. I don't know. I don't see merit in that argument that they are not going to be creating a rough right now, thinking they are batting third. But boss, India is even batting fourth.
Yeah.
It'll get even worse by the time.
True.
And you already have 480 runs. Yeah, if they hadn't got a big score or they had less runs to defend, about a 300, 350, and then you're scared, I agree, because then you're in a catch-22. What to do? Should I attack, defend? 480, go on. Which is why what surprised me at that time, which I said, Stark bowling short pitch, batsman taking him on, you're worried about leaking boundaries, don't be. That's where you will get a wicket. It was an absolute gift that Rohit Sharma gave them.
Otherwise, you look at it, as the sessions have progressed, you've managed to take wickets at that point in time. Not the first session. The first sessions, if you look at it, you look at Australia's innings, Head fell to a bad shot, Rohit fell to a bad shot. You have to throw your wickets away on this deck. Maybe after day 4, maybe second session of day 4 onwards, the bowlers will have to utilize some help from the wicket. Otherwise, even now, there is no help from the wicket.
True.
And the one ball that could have gotten a wicket, you got lucky.
Yeah, but again, because it hit that rough, had it not hit that rough, it was just going to be dead batted.
Yep. Shane, what is Roy SP
Roy
saying?
SP says nothing to take away from that 100, but it came in the second innings where the pitch was easier. Pujara too got one, agreed on KL's failure. I mean, if it was easier, then KL could have also gotten 100 opening. Best conditions to bat. So
yeah, but again, Bangladesh's bowlers, they didn't have that penetration enough to ensure. And KL unfortunately played a bad shot. Lapse of judgment.
That's the problem, no?
That's the
You are saying there's no penetration, all the more reason you should have
Exactly, you should have gotten a 150 then.
Again, see what happens now. We now know conditions and things like that because we're talking about things that have just happened in the recent past. This match or the Bangladesh. But when you assess a player, you assess 2-3 years later, you don't even remember conditions or what happened. You're just looking at totality of what he's got or what average. So in that sense, whatever chance you got, and that goes for KL and Shubman. I'm saying even for Shubman, getting good conditions is one thing, but capitalizing is another. For example, one lapse of concentration, he could have been the guy who played the shot that Rohit Sharma played.
Yep.
You're gone, right? And this is a kind of a game where you might not get the second innings. So everything then depends on this. So yes, you got good conditions, all right, but you got to make most of those conditions as well, which he is at the moment. So credit where credit is due.
But I think they have scored at a better rate than the Australians.
But they still need to score at a better rate.
I'm
They need to do better.
3.5 is what they're going at.
Yeah,
right?
3.5. Yeah.
So how many? Let's say 2 days of batting. That's 180 overs.
Yep.
So where are you going with?
I mean,
500 something.
550,
Yeah.
600.
So you're almost at par with them. Like okay, you may get 40-50 more runs Okay, fine. But then that's not a game-winning
That
thing.
isn't,
Nah.
yeah.
And I don't think you can go beyond 3.5 also. Because of the slow nature of the pitch.
It is. It is.
So
No, they need to kind of
yeah.
up the scoring rate a tad. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it. Just again, as I keep saying, that it's not going to be easy going more than 3.5.
Yeah.
So had they been around, 2.5, 3, you would have said slow. But they've gone 3.5, which I think is the best possible scenario. 3.5 at the end of day 4 is only going to take you around their score, which means that's what I keep saying. The second innings all boil down to last day, and can you then get a
them
test
out,
match
yeah.
out of just both innings having the last day, or if not last day plus a session at best. It's still not enough time unless you have a
Maniacal
spectacular
collapse, yeah.
Yeah.
Say India had managed to take a 70-run lead, Australia then collapsed for 120, 130.
Yeah,
Only then.
Yeah, which again, as I said, stranger things have happened on the field of play.
Again, if I were India, I'd target trying to get them at least to bat by tomorrow. Maybe the last session.
Last session, yeah.
Because then you give yourself four sessions.
Yeah.
So then it's a possibility.
Arun Teja makes a very interesting one. He says, I hope the wicket stays the same when Virat comes out to bat. How many of you are predicting Virat's 100 in this game? Arun, first part of your question, I completely agree. And I think it will stay the same. He's the next man in. Even if they bat long, I think he will come in today. There are more chances of that happening than him not coming. So the good chance he comes in today. Maybe this session that's coming up, good chance he comes out of bat there. So I don't think the wicket's going to change drastically from here on. But does he get 100 or not? Again, if I was to do percentage thing, there are more chances of not getting 100 than getting 100, and that's not just for Virat, for any batsman. Because hundreds are going to be rare, right? We all predicted how many hundreds. We said 2, 3.
Yeah.
I predicted 4.
Somewhere there. You predicted 4.
He's the only one to predict.
Okay.
I predicted Shubman, Shreyas, Virat and Ashwin.
No, because if it's 400, then more. I mean, there's a good chance that Virat would be one of the 4.
True.
Yeah.
If there are 4 coming.
Yep.
If not, as what I thought, 2, and you
I
also
also picked 2. I picked Shubman and Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah, so did I. Exactly.
Yeah,
So same players. So then there's a chance of not, but as I said, this is the best chance for Virat to get
In that drought.
100. I'd say, 60-40 right now.
Yeah.
60 of not reaching 100, 40 of reaching 100.
Three
That'd be a-
Still better than like the
safer.
80-20s he was getting prior, because
Yeah, because
horrible
those pitches, they were 90-10.
Exactly.
And not for Virat, for any batsman.
Any
If you ask
batsman
me
at
if he's
that
getting
point,
100,
yeah.
I'd say 10% chance. Right now it's gone to 40,
40.
which is massive.
3 years and 4 months later, maybe.
Yeah. So predictions for more we want to take?
can take.
Okay, Akash Bharat says, sir, if India gets 600, then do you see India win hypothetically?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
No, but when do they reach 600?
Exactly.
is the
That's
point.
the point. Because
No, let's calculate 3.5. When do they reach? Simple calculation.
by the last hour of day 4,
Exactly. So that's
They
too
reach,
far.
they reach 600 by then?
they can.
No, but they still have to up the scoring, right? They would still have to up
See,
the
with
scoring.
3.5, looking at the way how they're going, supposing 3.5, they make,
So let's say 90 plus about 60 overs.
yeah,
No, not 90. Then 1 hour you're reducing.
You're
So
reducing.
80 plus 60.
yeah,
Right. So that's
140 overs.
140 overs.
Yeah.
So 140 at 3.5
Let's do
will
the-
be. I'll do 280.
then you got 420.
Yeah, 420.
420. After this 420,
So that is
that means you're 650.
600. Yeah.
600, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you
possible.
can get to 600 at around 1 hour to go. Fourth day.
Yeah.
1 hour to go, fourth day. Yeah. Okay. So you get 600. Then you have a 120 run lead, which is a very good lead.
Very good lead,
agreed.
yeah.
Then you assume that you get them out till lunch.
Till lunch.
That is the thing. Now,
That is
1
the-
hour of this and getting up. No, I don't. No matter what bigger collapse, that's going to be very rare. If you ask me percentage chance of that, I'd put 2-3% of that happening.
Can
So
happen.
at best, you'll get them out till T. If you have a great outing with the ball,
Yeah.
T.
Which leaves you one session.
No, but if they bat till T, they would have. Then you can.
Then you can, they would have scored about 150 by T.
Yeah. You can. You
Then you
can.
can.
You can.
You can. Possibility of India chance, but as I said, it is still at a 10%
Yeah.
chance of that happening. The possibility of that happening.
Australia collapsing, don't ever bet on it. It can happen.
bet
No,
against
can, which is why I'm giving a
Yeah.
10% chance to
I
get
would give it a
team
bit more. 25%.
25. Oh, that's
Yep.
a lot. He's very bullish. 25% chance of an Australia collapse.
Can happen.
Could
Can
be.
happen. Because see, 5th day, anything can happen. The pitch will be very different as it was now.
Sure.
More footmarks, more rough patches. Ashwin, if he's on song, right, and Jadeja hitting those rough patches, who knows? Australia have to dance around, and imagine they have to eliminate the deficit first. They'll be caught whether we eliminate the deficit or we hang for survival.
Yeah.
That will be the key. So India have to bat really well, get to say 300, 350 by today, bat for 2 sessions, get to 600 provided they have wickets in hand, and 1 hour for 4th session on 4th day, 1 hour final. Get Australian.
Let's take Vignesh's Konar's comment, and it's quite similar to what Siddharth is saying here. He's saying, going by the intent of Shubman and Iyer to come also, India will touch 350 today. Anything can happen on day 4 and day 5. Results
Very much
is
possible.
very much possible.
Possible. It can happen.
Yeah.
But but remember, if India give Australia the lead, then
forget it.
forget it. We are all saying that India could get to 600, but
Go down to the bottom.
even that won't be easy because you have to score 471 runs in a matter of 4.5 sessions, 100 per session.
But as a rookie techie, so he may be a rookie techie, but he's speaking like a pro expert. He's saying, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, India needs to score 600. Na?
But what did I say at that end? He didn't listen to that. I said, if Australia get the lead, then forget it. Then forget about all kind of winning.
Then
and all
you're
this.
again playing catch up.
Then you're playing catch up.
Acha, Akash Bhardwaj wants to know, why doesn't India go for baseball after tea and produce a result?
I think the surface will not allow you to do
Yeah.
baseball.
But you still have 9 batsmen. You can play a little more aggressively, just a tad. Just
Can. But I'm saying that you can also think about doing that once you feel safe.
Nah, right now they don't.
But as he points out, maybe 350. I think 350 also, I don't know, 400 would be safer. Because again, you're thinking, I'm not saying you're just thinking of 480, you're thinking of actually taking a lead. So that's why I say 400 is about 350, you start doing it, and let's say you fold up for 60, 70 runs after that, then you're in a fix, you're batting last. So the safe threshold should be around 400. And if
Yeah.
you've got enough wickets, maybe then. But again, I think this, because we've gotten used to such fast forward test cricket where
Yeah.
things happen so fast, we sometimes get ahead of ourselves as to what happened, but we forget that everything will happen so gradually,
Yes.
session by session. That
Slow Bunsen burner of a test match.
Yeah.
that's true.
This will be a slow Bunsen burner, and that is why, let's see how this session pans out. Only after that we'll have an instinct as to after day 3.
So are you going to say that the next session will be key?
No, I'm not going to say that. End of the day will be the key.
Every day.
End of the day. End of the day. What is the situation that India are in? By the end of the day, we'll come to know what is the situation going to be.
Anil Devasi says 270 more runs in the next 270 more is going to take you about 400
400.
runs in the next 2 sessions with a loss of 1 or 2 more wickets. Oh, so only 1 or 2 more wickets.
So someone is definitely getting a big 100.
Then Shreyas will be batting.
Unless Iyer developed a passion for mountain climbing.
Shreyas will be batting with Pujara
Pujara.
by close of day 3, he feels.
Could happen. Could happen.
So he's
But
saying-
again, I'm saying you need Gill to score a daddy 100.
No,
But
so he's
again-
only expecting 1 wicket, which is of Virat to fall. Oh no, and Shubman.
Shubman.
And Shubman.
Yeah.
2 wickets.
2
wickets
wickets.
to fall.
But okay, now 27 overs. That means 63 overs, 270. That means you have to score at 4.5.
That will be tough.
It'll be tough on this deck. See, this deck is very sluggish for stroke making. And look at Kunaman. If he bowled stump to stump. It was pretty difficult for him to get away. Lion will get a bit more purchase. He's getting into rhythm now. Murphy will be also very difficult to get by. So yeah, both are using their feet.
Yeah,
But
Pujara in particular.
Pujara in particular. So let's see how can they maintain that consistency. That is the major question now. So that will be the key in that sense, because if one has a lapse in concentration, it always happens. First hour you saw every session.
First hour, in fact, sometimes even first ball.
Ball,
Remember Usman yesterday?
Khwaja, and then you saw in the first over also, I think in one of the things. So, okay, Sahil Khurana is like saying collapse loading because of Todd Murphy's already playing on their mind. No, Sahil.
I don't think so.
Nah, see, Murphy managed to hit that rough. That is why that ball came in. Otherwise, on this wicket, it is still a placid deck. you don't get that much of purchase. Maybe in the third session you may get a bit more purchase. Because look at the progression of wickets that have fallen. Day 1, only 4 wickets fell. Day 2, only 6 wickets fell.
So percentage wise, there's a chance that second and third session you might see.
Yes.
Might.
Okay, few comments are going to take. Mitsoni says, Bhag Puji Bhag with Virat loading.
And obviously now Rohit can't. do
Rohit
that.
can't, yeah. And
So-
Rohit got him wrong. And Virat, I think it was Cheteshwar who got him out in Delhi run out, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sahil Khurana is saying,
Oh, we took that.
collapse loading. Acha.
I took that, yeah.
That we took that, yes. Amit Chaudhary wants to know, will there be a roller applied on pitch before the new session? No.
No.
Innings change
innings.
in beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Light roller.
Yeah. Davis cricket, we've already taken that. So,
Yeah.
Lovepreet Singh's prediction is 83 for 2 wickets.
So he's again
That
two-
seems to be a much
Actually,
more
pretty
realistic.
prediction,
But the
I
2
would say.
wickets, I don't think so. Maybe 1.
But right now you said there's a percentage that wickets will fall high.
Oh, in the day, I'm saying. Day 1 was 4, day 2 was 6.
But so far only 1 wicket has fallen. So second and third session you could actually.
You could.
Percentage wise.
Yeah, percentage wise.
Final question. Akash Bhardar wants to know, honest opinion, most likely result draw for you or anything else? Most likely, just one option. Between draw, Australia win, India win.
Draw.
Yeah. Draws the
Draw,
most
draw.
likely.
Yeah,
result.
most likely.
Most
That's not
likely.
to say the remaining 2 results can't happen, as we just calculated, did our math. Even though not great math students, at least I'm speaking for
No.
myself. I don't
I was terrible.
I was also
Yeah, so
woeful.
see, we did a decent job doing our math
Yeah.
without any calculators or anything such.
Yeah. Anyway, India are going through thanks to New Zealand's favor.
Yeah, again, why are we jumping the gun?
Yeah, they are going through. I mean,
Yeah, this match is still 50-50.
50-50. But again,
How do you know?
I mean, New Zealand always like to do other
Yes,
teams
because you're a
favor.
New Zealand fan,
Of
you're
course,
jumping
of
the
course.
gun again.
In the end, whatever happens in New Zealand, Sri Lanka, New Zealand is winning anyways. Even if the World Test Championship final India win, New Zealand, they'll have to thank them. So I'm okay with that.
If.
Chalo. Yeah. Okay, so about to start?
Yes.
1 minute to
Bye
go.
bye. See you.
See you for the
Tea time
tea
show.
time show. Vanakkam.